Good morning, everyone. I hope you had a great time last night at the National Museum event and after party. I know for sure that some of us who went club partying had a fantastic time. Welcome again to the 3rd POPRI International Competition, second day of our program, which we will start with the official part and then, of course, have a very interesting panel session with two fantastic entrepreneurs that you will have a chance to meet. And then we'll find out what we are all excited about and can't wait to hear, who the winners of the 3rd POPRI edition are. But before that, let me just let you know that we have special hosts from the first gymnasium of Sarajevo, students and their teachers who came here to greet you and welcome you. That's the high school in Sarajevo. It's called Prva Gimnazija, first gymnasium. That is very close to my heart. Why? Because that's my high school. So, thank you for this wonderful, wonderful event. I really enjoyed the energy and your pitches yesterday. It was absolutely fantastic. And without a further ado, let me first start with the official part of this event and kindly ask Mr. Mithat Djemic, head of section of the EU Funds National Coordinator for Bosnia and Herzegovina in the EUSAIR, and the gentleman who works with the Directorate for European Integration of the Council of Ministers of Bosnia and Herzegovina, to share his welcoming remarks with you. Please, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good morning. I finished the second gymnasium. So
Always competition, the first, the second. So.
More mathematician, but good morning once again, dear young entrepreneurs, dear Director Tokarski, dear Bojana and others, dear Eva. Nice to see you here on behalf of the presidency, still 5 for I don't know how many days. I would like to greet you and wish you a successful second day of your event. One of the highlights has been the EUSAIR POPRI Youth Competition 2023 for the third time in row, showcasing the ingenuity of young talents. The innovative ideas and projects presented have demonstrated the potential for transformative change within our communities. One of the priorities of our program was brain drain and problem of is leaving this country. Hope with several events here during the forum, we showed that change is possible. Of course, including your event. For me, even more important achievement is that you had an opportunity to meet the colleagues from the region, to make connections, to maintain these connections in future, and to learn from each other. The youth of our region hold the key to our future, definitely. And when I was preparing the program of the forum and talked with the colleagues from not from EUSAIR countries, seems that the same problem we have in whole Mediterranean, even North Africa. So we have to definitely put it more higher at the agenda of EU institutions and our macro-regional strategies. Young people, we must nurture your talents, provide resources, and create an environment conducive for your success. I thank to the judges, mentors, and sponsors for their invaluable support in making this year's POPRI competition and competition success. Let's carry forward the spirit of collaboration and cooperation, embrace innovation, work together to build a future that is inclusive, resilient, and full of possibility. Once again, thank you for your participation, dedication, and commitment to the ideals of the 8th Adriatic-Ionian Forum. Together, although I am close to my career and close to the end of my career, but there will be somebody else who will help you to shape the destiny of our region for generations to come. Thank you again, and may the spirit of innovation and collaboration guide your journey forward. And I have to excuse myself because I have some other duties in the same time, so I will have to leave you immediately.
Thank you, Mr. Janic, for finding the time to talk to us. Thank you for your inspiring words. Yes, absolutely, the change is possible. These young people have shown it to us. Why? Because Popri rocks. Okay. Let's move on. Please allow me to invite Ms. Eva Kos, EUSAIR Facility Point Lead Project Manager, Ministry of Cohesion and Regional Development of the Republic of Slovenia. Eva, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning also from my side. As mentioned, I am coordinator of the Facility Point project, which acts actually as a secretariat of this macro region and was co-organizing with our partners this forum. And I have to say I'm really happy to be invited to speak today because Popri is one of my favorite events at this forum, if I'm allowed to say so. I participated yesterday actually at the part dedicated to the high school competition, and I was really impressed by the maturity and the professionalism and really the amount of effort that goes into these projects and ideas that you present. And actually I have to say, as these are not just project ideas, these are actual pilot projects that you make, and it was really good to see, and really great work. And maybe in the other rooms of this forum we hear very important but maybe sometimes quite complicated and complex about complex processes and objectives that we have, like green and digital transition and social cohesion, brain drain, and enlargement, and actually the whole concept of macro-regional cooperation is quite complicated, I think. But then it's so refreshing to hear these really practical and very concrete solutions that you bring and that actually contribute to these goals that we are all striving for in the strategy. And I also had an opportunity actually to see a little bit also behind the scene how this competition is organized, and I think we owe a big thank you to the organizers and that make this competition possible. So to all the technology parks and the high schools and the mentors, because it's really great effort that they put into this project to make it happen. And it's a great contribution to this forum, I think, and really to bring the young people actually to participate at this event. I hope that at this forum you got the appreciation that you actually deserve for your work, and that you got also some inspiration to continue in the future. And also I think that will be the continuation of today's session. And I wish you good luck in the competition and also in your future endeavors. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Kos. Without a further ado, as promised, now we will have our panel discussion. Allow me to invite Slavesa Jovanovic from GIZ, who is going to moderate this panel. We will be joined by Erna Šošević and Dragan Vlačić. But let me tell you just a couple of words about Slaviša. Slaviša is working on the projects focused on the improvement in policies, knowledge and access to knowledge, livelihood and local and rural communities, employment opportunities, SMEs competitiveness, innovation and digitalization, and overall services for various sectors and users. He's also an entrepreneur himself. He runs the Creative Hub for Kids with his wife in Tivat. Big round of applause for Slaviša, please. Erna Šošević is here with us today. Erna is a very famous known face for the people in Sarajevo. She's a founder of CEO and CEO at BizBok, advisory board member for Women Entrepreneurship for UN Women, BIH, chapter lead Sarajevo for Sogol Foundation New York, startup advisor and lecturer. Welcome, Erna. And our second panelist, our second entrepreneur, is Dragan Vlačić, who is an experienced engineering manager and software engineer with a demonstrated history of working in the information technology and services industry. He has an impressive educational background with master's degree focused on information technologies. The floor is yours.
Is this on? Is it on? I'm not so good with these things. I usually talk without them, but I would also like to welcome you here and to congratulate you on the road you took to actually go through the whole process of preparing yourself for the pitching yesterday, and also the final congratulation will come after this panel. As you have seen, we are a bit behind the schedule, but that's something where you can also find some lines between the events and real entrepreneurial kind of way of thinking. It's always something behind the schedule. Today, we have our goal is to get to know these two exquisite entrepreneurs, but the behind that is actually to get to know real entrepreneurs, you know, flesh and bone people, regular entrepreneurs that you can spot in almost every country here present. And not something that you listen, you know, as a mythical human being on YouTube and movies like Steve Jobs and so on. So we will hear some real stories today, and I hope you will enjoy. What's a bit difficult with my task today is that we are in a difficult position, regardless of the time. First of all, you had the event last night, the after party. Then we had the first panel this morning. So I don't know if you had your coffee. I hope you have. Also, we are the last panel before the awards are being given, and I'm sure you're all eager just to hear and see who won it. So we'll try to make this casual, we'll try to make this interesting, and I hope you will enjoy the session. So, you heard a bit about our panelists. It's kind of a formal biography, something, just a few words about them. But what I would like now is to maybe ask them to present themselves in a few sentences, who they are, how they maybe started, you know, with their entrepreneurial path, and what exactly are they doing right now. So I will start with Erna. Erna, please.
Of course, ladies first. Hi everyone, I'm happy to be here. So like my host said, I'm Erna Šošević. I'm a founder and CEO of a company named BizBok. And I've been like 6 years ago, just a regular tech startup starting in Bosnia without any ecosystem that will support my journey. Overall, I was in my 30s at that time with 2 kids and a job that I just decided to quit because I decided to dive in fully, and because I really believed in the idea that I can make something out of my head. So besides that, I'm a lawyer as well, so totally different path. And I work for UN Women as an advisory board for women entrepreneurship. Also, I'm a chairwoman of the board of Foundation 787. So everything I do so far is to support young people and to help them in their journey, even if I'm a mentor or the lecturer, or even if I just like give you advice in the past. So that's what I do now. So what BizBook do, that's all I'm going to say for now. So I actually saw that through my work experience that there is no one place that you can find offers and services from other companies. So it's really hard for the people who work in departments that need to buy something for the company to get 3 offers, and every company needs 3 offers now. So I decided to create an online platform that will provide to companies in Bosnia and Herzegovina mainly, actually first Bosnia and Herzegovina, then the plan was to go regionally, to publish their offers and services and to connect to other companies that are willing to work with them and who are looking for something to buy or something to sell. So that is a BizBook. We created 3 versions of platform. We got 2 investments from EBRD and Swiss government. We've been to the Best Bosnian Startup 2018 in Mostar. It was the beta pitch competition, and then after that, everything was like, you know, like a spaceship. We got 2 investments, and then we built 3 versions of platform. We got more than 1,500 users, and now we are negotiating with some investors to expand regionally. So yeah, it was a long way, but I learned a lot. So probably that's why I'm here today.
Didn't I tell you exquisite entrepreneurs? I mean, how can you summarize this in the official biography at the beginning? There's no way. And congratulations on all the effort and what you are doing right now, aside of your business. I mean, this kind of intention to help others and involve others in the ecosystem. Dragan, same question.
Okay, thank you. It's really nice to see young people here. So basically, regarding my path through all those years of entrepreneurship, well, basically, I'm currently working as a project manager. It's a huge international project. We are developing advanced information system. It's regarding those mine actions in Bosnia. And besides that, I should say assets. I have few assets that I am maintaining them, and that is something that is really interesting part, and I hope so that during this conversation we will mention that those part of assets that could bring you benefits during, I don't know, even when you sleep, is something that is really interesting part. And I think
passive income.
As income, yes, exactly. So besides that, there is always like that research spirit inside of me to try to find out some small businesses, small niches that it could be like problem solution parts. So yeah, a lot of jobs.
Good, nice to know that.
Thank you.
If we talk about entrepreneurs, I'm quite struggling with this word, you know, entrepreneurs, entrepreneurial, and I'm breaking my tongue, and apologies for that. But if we are talking about the name entrepreneur, I often think of it as a mythical human being, you know. Wherever you read something about it, it's kind of the same but a bit different, you know. There's no final definition of what is an entrepreneur. Yeah. So what I would like to know from our panelists is there any set of specific skills that you need to have as an entrepreneur? And can you kind of highlight which skills do you actually have that, or do you actually have those skills that you kind of, when you envision an entrepreneur, what he needs to have? So how close are you to kind of having the complete picture of a fully functional entrepreneur?
Yeah, at the beginning I didn't know what it was. It's something that you have to find inside you when you decided to become one. But I think that the most important thing is that you have to be a problem solver. So if you don't find a problem that you want to solve and you want to build a company out of it, don't go into it. So because we don't need another beauty app. Everyone thinks that, you know, entrepreneurship is a classy, sexy thing. So you are going to be famous, you're going to go to conferences. But at the end, it's something you have to be useful to the community. For example, when you go to Mostar, it's a beautiful city in the south of Bosnia. You will go for miles, you will not find a trash can. It's impossible to find it. They have a huge problem that no one is solving. And there's a lot of young people there who are just saying, like, there's no jobs, the state is not giving us any kind of chance. But guys, you have a huge problem, you're not solving it. So there's a lot of programs, there's a lot of calls, there's a lot of donations that can be actually be used to build something that you will solve this huge problem. So besides that, I think that also you have to be persistent, because there's a lot of no, and maybe like 100 no, there's one yes. So it was at the beginning where I decided to sell my product. When we built the first version, it was so ugly that I was so ashamed to show it to anyone. But you know, people say if you're not ashamed of your product, that it's not good one. So I have to sell that. To sell something digital in Bosnia, it's like I don't know, it's like, I don't know how to explain to you, but people are not actually investing in digital here, especially entrepreneurs. So when you go to someone and say, I want to sell you some space or some profile somewhere that you can do that and that, so I'm fine without it now, so why do I need that? So you have to be really, you have to find the thing that actually why are you diverse from others? So you have to be persistent. And when I sold first profile, actually first package, it was the sign that I have something that it's useful for others, and I have to build it, and I have to improve it, and I have to just see what people need and what my users need, not something that I like. So you have to be problem solver, you have to be persistent, and you have to know what you want. You have to know what you want from yourself. So if you are going into that just to have one reference in your CV, it's fine, but you will lose, you lose credibility to other people. They said, this is the person who just comes everywhere just to be seen, and it's not doing something. So that's, if you want to do it, just go into it, make something. Even if you fail, I think you will learn a lot, something that any university, it's not possible that they can give you that kind of knowledge and experience and contacts. So I think those three skills that entrepreneur needs to have.
So problem solving, persistence, and knowing what you want.
Yeah.
Let me tell you a few more words about Erna. Yesterday was actually our first occasion where we met in person. But I know about Erna for 2 or 3 years now, and it's mostly through reading her name on paper. In my organization, we organize annually more than 40, 50, 60 events. And I'm the one who is kind of taking care of all the records of the events, and I'm kind of a living archive for every activity in the project. So my job is to see who was there, note it, and maintain some kind of a track change of what's happening, who's interested, and that's the way how we find people to maybe invite even more or find some things that are interesting to them. And Erna's name is almost on every single list, which actually says that she's really keen on being at the center of happening, to get to know everything that is happening and to actually be better at her job. So I will add that to, the already mentioned set of skills. Dragan, what about you?
Yeah, well, basically, each of us is some kind of universal for itself. So there is no ideal combination of skills. But as Erna mentioned, you need to be persistent. You need to be patient. You need to have that research spirit inside of yourself to be problem solver. And I don't know. It's repeating from time to time. But you really need to love those parts that you are doing. You need to I don't know, follow your passion, and it gives you some kind of extra energy that will get you focused on those problems and on those solvings. So yeah.
So we add patience and care or love for what you're doing.
Exactly.
So the same way I introduced kind of Erna in this unofficial way, I would like to say a few words about Dragan. Dragan, I actually had the chance to meet in person in several events. And what struck me about him and how he's kind of mentally recorded in my head is that he's a guy who will, after every event that he attended with me, call me afterwards and say, okay, I really like that part of the event, or I think maybe that part could have been much better, or next time please involve this guy or that. So he has this kind of a critical feedback for everything, and he is not hesitant to share it, which is really, really helpful for me and probably helpful to him in his own business. So, as an entrepreneur, you need to start somewhere. But I would like to understand the complexity of it. So, when you're starting as an entrepreneur, do you really need to think, in terms of planning like short-term plans, long-term plans? Does it matter at all, you know, the level of planning that you're making? Or is it just, you know, move on and start this business? And what was your process at the start? You know, how far did you plan in your development of your business and expansion and everything?
Well, that's an interesting question. When I started, yeah, I did think long term at the beginning because, you know, I had a great job before this whole journey. And it was all set up, you know. I had a company's car and, you know, cell phone and great bonuses and that kind of stuff. But I wasn't complete, you know. I wasn't fulfilled. I wasn't going with joy on my job, and I wasn't really feeling that was the right thing for me, even though I was good at it. But it wasn't challenging. So I think when I decided to quit, I didn't decide it. I just went to work and go to my boss and said, I'm done with this. So it was like a radical decision, but I'm not sorry for it. So I just have to explain to my husband that when I came home that's what I did. Yeah. Well, luckily we understand each other. We actually grew up together, so he knows me. And when he said, so what are you going to do? I said, I don't know, I'm taking a month off, and then I will think about. So at that point, I was already starting to think about all my previous working experience and what kind of problems I saw on them, and decided to create what I created. But people always ask me, so when will you start making money? So that was the first, that was the only thing matter, not how much impact you're gonna make, how much you're gonna learn, what kind of experience you're gonna have, how many people you're gonna meet, but how much money you're gonna make. So I saw the money like 10 years from that point, not before. I'm honest. So I worked like 3 years without any paycheck. So I just went to work every day, and everything that I earned, I put on account and just waited the moment to hire someone because I couldn't work everything alone anymore. So that was one mistake. I started alone, so really need a co-founder, have some kind of support system. But I had a great team of developers, people who actually gave me the opportunity to build me the first version of platform and to invest in it because it cost a lot. But at one point, when I started hiring people and when I started really to building this company, when I saw the form, when I had the first logo that I really felt with, we had we had 4 facelifting of BizBook. So it was so exotic. Every logo wasn't mine. I just didn't feel it. So it is the process that you have to go through. So if you want to make money fast, that's fine. You can, of course. You can go in some safe industry, something that everyone needs, like go to marketing. You will probably find few clients. You will earn. But if you want to make long-term impact, you have to find something that it's really I don't want to say hard, but I want to say challenging, especially here in Bosnia, because we don't have much, but we have a lot of problems. So we have a lot of chance to make something if we want. So I think that you have to find, if you want to go long term, then you just have to see from 5, 10, 7, or I don't know, 20 years from now, your success. But every day that you make it as entrepreneurs is a success. So that's something that really counts.
I would just now say that I can add to your set of skills, so feature one more. It's radical passion. 10 years, you know. Okay, Dragan, what's your view? Is it the same or a bit different?
Approach was a little bit different regarding not just that hard quit, yeah. But basically, we were talking about goals. I would just like to add that those goals need to be realistic and achievable in terms of that you need to visualize steps that will bring you at some final point to that goal. So regarding those steps, each of those steps needs to have some kind of milestones, so you can see your success behind it, and it will be some kind of extra motivation to do some other things. And yeah, basically those goals could be short term, could be, I don't know.
Yeah, that's the experience talking out of you. But when you're a startup and when you're just starting, you don't know what's out there. So you just go for it and see. And there's a lot of people who can guide you, or programs, or I don't know, accelerators, hubs, who can actually tell you what to do next at the beginning. But at one point, you just have to go with the flow.
if I just can add, those steps really needs to be flexible. So whatever you imagine that you can do, whatever you visualize, you can do it. It will not be like that. It will be like similar, but not like that. Yeah.
And you will not get disappointed as well.
Yeah, at the end.
Okay, when we talk about entrepreneurial mindset, I got it now. Entrepreneurial mindset. We have to talk about the Balkans and the Balkan entrepreneurial mindset. And people often say, you know, if you succeed in the Balkans, you can succeed on the moon, you know, everyone. But probably one of the things that play a key role is innovation and creativity. So can you tell us more, you know, how much of a role it played in your beginnings and now, and maybe even list some of the examples how you employed innovations and creativity to boost up your business?
Yeah, well, that's really the part of the process, because when you go into that community, you just see what's happening out there, what people are doing, so you just start copying good examples. So I think that we had a lot of those in our area. You just have to be part of that ecosystem. I think that young people actually there's a lot of fear about, you know, the failure and about how people are going to accept them. Are they going to make it in that kind of environment? But you will be surprised how many people are really willing to help you and to give you advice or to give you, you know, some space inside of their company. So, for example, my case was that this software company who actually built me all three platforms, three versions of platform, gave me their office in their company. So I didn't have any additional costs, any actually starters cost at the beginning. So I got the office, I got the team of developers, and all the infrastructure that I need to have, to operate as a company. So I really wasn't a company at that point, but what I did, I actually print out the business cards, and I wrote CEO, and it's like fake it till you make it, you know, because I had to go to meeting. I don't have a company yet, but I have to pretend that I have one, because I have the one in the back who will stand behind me. They gave me a bank account and everything. So I was legal from the beginning, but I wasn't a separate legal entity.
You were building credibility.
Yes. So like there's one more of my mentor who said from Canada, like, you have to dress like you're a CEO. You have to act like you're one. You have to think like one. So even if you're not the one, you have to be one inside of your head. So if you're not, for yourself and for people who are watching you, then you will never become one. So that's what I did. I dress every day, go to work. I don't have any kind of, you know, I'm not paid for that work. I don't have the status. I'm on biro, like they say here. But I'm a CEO, you know, on business cards, and I go to meetings and just make deals. And at one point, I become one. I had a company like for 3 years now. I hire people. We have our clients. We are expanding regionally. So I think that's a lot of things that are happening actually inside our heads.
Interesting. Now I'm trying to identify a bit, and since I'm not so good at dressing, yeah. I kind of gave the CEO position to my wife, so and we're both fine with that.
Smart decision.
Yeah. Dragan.
Makes sense. Yeah, well, as Anna mentioned, you really need to visualize that. And I just remind myself a few minutes before starting here, Sasha mentioned he's Novak Djokovic. Yeah. So that's that part. You need to
actually, they told me afterwards I'm more like Cristiano Ronaldo, so 200 million, baby.
Exactly. Yeah, so you need to visualize it. You need to see yourself as a successful. You need to see those solutions and be flexible. Well, yeah, I can even, I don't know how we are with time. Okay, so I can mention, for example, my first job, my first project was back in 20 years ago. And at that time, there was like hardwares that were really interesting parts. Those printers were not so metric. Basically, those ink printers started, and they were all over it. And what we managed to find that small market, it was refilling those cartridges. So that was my first project, and yeah, a lot of experience, a lot of connections, a lot of networking. That was also my involvement.
I had one professor a long time ago who said the people on the Balkans should have their own classification in this biology. You know, he said we should be called Homo Balkanicus for many reasons. But in those terms, do you feel that to succeed in the Balkans, Balkan people need to have, you know, one thing? And is there such a thing? Or it's everywhere in the world pretty much the same? Whatever, when you're starting as an entrepreneur, you're pretty much kind of facing with similar, I would say, variables that you need to address.
Okay, so I think that here is specifically with this area is that we are still in some kind of transition between socialism and capitalism, and you know, our parents are having one vision of how life should be, and we know that it's something totally different. So I think that we need to, you know, just decide what's best for us. So we can go and work for some institution, that's always an option, of course, or in some municipality, or you can build for someone else, or you can work for yourself. So I think that that's the mainly, you know, the big obstacle for us, because there's the one part of people who are just telling you you're crazy, it's never going to work. So here is, you know, it's not safe for it's not time for having a company or to build one, because you know you have to be in some kind of party or so. There's one term like we are professional demotivators. So that's what here our people mainly do. So you have to just surround yourself with the people who actually are, you know, think like you or want to do more from their life, and you will see how many doors you will open. So everywhere in Europe you have those, you know, things or something that actually are young people need to face with. Those are some kind of traditional obstacles or some kind of, you know, market, the situation on the market. But it's really, it's not a real thing, believe me. So this.
The key thing is, in terms of the motivators, which are probably more of them in the Balkans than in other places, you need to kind of shield yourself from them and turn your attention to those motivators.
Yeah, I have two lists of people. Like there's like dead list, blacklist and dead list. So blacklist is those who are, you know, sometimes they're positive, it's a lot of negativity, but there's a dead list that people I don't want to see anywhere. So I'm not with them on social media, or just if I saw that they are out there, I'm just running out, because you know, with one negative thought, you need like 10 positive just to, and we really are. There's a lot of we are skloni. Keen. Yeah, we are keen to go on the negative side, because that's around us.
Just to add that Erna's thoughts. Basically, there is a term like energy vampires. So at the beginning, you are full of positive energy. They are like zero. And after a few sentences, you are on zero, and they are like full.
Does garlic help?
They just are full of those into your basket. So yeah. Well, just to add, Anna explained everything so great. So regarding that past period, that there was like some term of permanent job status. That is something that is like fairy tale. So
now it's fairy tale.
Now it's fairy tale. At that point, it was a realistic one. So perhaps one of my messages to youth is that okay, you need to respect, you need to love your parents, and all the time that has been, but you need to create your own path to the future.
You heard a guy. I will remain with you with the next question. Aside of being an entrepreneur and I would say a lot of different things, you were also a high school teacher. And not only that you were a teacher, but you also worked with pupils on many different projects. Was there an option via those projects or within the regular curricula in the school to actually help young people, you know, to develop this entrepreneurial mindset, or to at least kind of stimulate them to go and seek and try and make their way in the... What was your experience with high school pupils in terms of entrepreneurship?
Those were the times. Yeah, well, there is always chance to bring some positive energy to motivate them. And besides that last message that I mentioned, I really want to, in few sentences, explain that part of my working period. So I was a professor of IT subjects, group of subjects, and since I was like in 3rd and 4th grade, a lot of subjects were exactly in my cabinet. So perhaps even 1/3 of time in their complete year they're spending with me. So it was a lot of talk, it was a lot of those positive thoughts, a lot of motivation guides. So yeah, for example, we had one competition. It was non-curriculum one. It was like creating mobile applications. And basic idea was don't try to create something that is, I don't know, that exists. But basically think about yourself. You have challenges all over, and basically just try to find some solution for that, and let's create it and let's input it in mobile application.
So it's possible with the help of teachers in high school maybe to engage more in this, I would say, overall entrepreneurship idea.
Exactly. And if you ask me, I believe that it could be like even change part of law, where all of those teachers need to be inside of real business, I don't know, for at least 2 or 3 years. So you can send them a really good message.
To bring that entrepreneurship,
and energy,
entrepreneurial
exactly.
experience.
Exactly.
Well, when you're starting a business, obviously you need money. Sometimes maybe you don't, but in most cases you need money. So what was the case with you? How did you secure the funding at your very beginning? You know, was it your own money? You got some money from your family, they supported you in that way, or you maybe sought for some kind of external fund or an investor? Can you tell us more about that? Erna, let's
Okay.
let's shuffle it.
So no, I didn't have my own startup capital because, like I said, I have a family and we have our expenses, so it wasn't really an option for me to get the money from our home. But what I did, I went to competitions, and at one I think it was 2016, when actually this software company approached me and said, yeah, we're willing to invest in your idea, so let's talk. So at that point, but for like 3 years from that, I didn't have any kind of funds. But I did make money selling the product. After that, we got the first investment from Swiss government after we won the Best Bosnian Startup 2018. And after that, we got the second one from EBRD, and yeah, it was a few small grants. But what I learned in that point that smart money is better than money. So when you got the right mentor, when you got the right program, when you got the right education in some startup sector, it's better than people give you $50,000 and just tell you go with it. What actually the accelerators from the region learned, for example, ABC Accelerator in Slovenia, or Phil Rouge Capital in Croatia, that I had conversation about investment, is that when you give to young people the cash, the money, they will go buy yourself iPhones and laptops and go to some team building. And then when they get back, they think that they'll get figured out, but it's just the beginning of the problems, because you have to invest in development. So that's something that the young people don't get, because it's a hype. Like now we are entrepreneurs, we are going to make to conquer the world, but it's not true.
CEOs.
Yeah, CEOs. Yeah, I'm the senior CEO, so it's not the same thing.
That's the first one I heard.
Yeah. So yes, if you get a chance to learn, you will learn how to make money. So I'm really against all these grants and stuff like donations and help, like they're calling it, because You just get it, and you don't earn it. If you earn money, you will make something out of it. But if you just get it, you will spend it on, and like we talked last night about how much money are going into that kind of things that really you cannot see the impact of them. So if you give money to people, then you have to know that they know how to invest them.
So it's a matter of attitude. If you earn something, you
but
definitely
of
appreciate
knowledge,
it. Yeah,
knowledge as well.
But within the program, so definitely it's not about the money that you will get. It's this mentorship, the additional support, guidance, all these perks that come along with the money, but sometimes are more valuable than the money itself.
Yes, I've been in Swiss entrepreneurship program for 3 years, and I had a chance to talk to 56 mentors from all around the world, and each of them were paid by them. So those, they had 300 euros per hour. So I had a chance to talk to the guy who sold his company for $30 million, I don't know where, and then he'll just go through I have 1 hour, and then I have to go prepare myself for everything. And so you have people here as well who really build companies and know what they need to do, but you never ask anyone about it. So when you have a question, no one had any kind of question. So that's us. I was that one in the beginning. So people, they just bring me the guy with $300 per hour, and I'm just sitting and look at him like, okay, can you, I will just present you my idea. I said, do you have questions? I said, not really. People, did you just look at me like what I'm doing here? So I had to learn that I have to use that 1 hour of person who actually built something just to get out of it information that will help me to build something for myself.
Very interesting observation. Dragan, what about you and your, I would say, fundraising beginnings?
I'll be back on that. Just remind me that one question that's like often used to prepare young entrepreneurship is like visualize situation. You are in elevator with some guy that has money. He's investor, well-known investor. So you need to present them your idea in those
20 seconds.
In those 20 seconds. What you should tell to them.
Elevator.
Yeah, elevator.
But there's a trick. You press every button in the elevator and it lasts much longer. So be creative, yeah.
Then he will call 911. There is some kind of crazy interface here with me.
Be creative. Yeah, but what about your
Yeah.
fundraising beginnings? How was your...
As I mentioned, that first project was really funded by myself, and each of those paychecks that I have received, I have reinvested in that project. So at some point of time, when there was like a huge competition in that, I just sold that project, and I used that money on other projects. But basically, they differs regarding and funds and grants. So it's like from project to project.
One more thing which I heard aside of the, I would say, money or income, is that you reinvest. So that's something that is really important. We should maybe note this, that it plays one of the key roles in overall sustainability and growth of the company. Of course, within your path as an entrepreneur, you probably faced a lot of challenges, and probably there's no definite number of them. But can you tell to the young audience and future entrepreneurs, what are now some of the key challenges that every entrepreneur is facing, and maybe what are your strategies in kind of maybe mitigating them or avoiding them completely?
Well, micromanagement is one of the things that I really hate. So running a company you have a lot of challenges in that process every day, and the ideal would be to have departments and the people who are running them. But when you just start, you have 1, 2, 3 employees. You're everything. You're in CEO and HR and finance, and you have people. I have people in sales, so I outsource marketing and outsource finance, of course. But when you're inside a company, you have a lot of problems you have to deal with every day, and you have to just think all the time that you have to have an income because there's a next month and the taxes are coming, and you have to pay your workers and everything. So they actually don't think about it. So it's not their problem if someone didn't pay you and you cannot pay everything you need to pay for the state and to other contractors. Yeah, I think that main challenge is to find yourself a balance between all those problems and your everyday life and your achievements and your development as a person, because every entrepreneur, you have this part of you who will always be hungry for more knowledge and for more information, and you want to be on conferences and you want to go to meeting, and you also want to spend time with your family. So I think that's the main challenge for me at this point. But at the beginning, it was how to organize the whole processes in the company. We have to have procedures for everything, because if I go on, I don't know, in Slovenia for 5 days, the company has to work without me. So I'm just trying to, separate myself from the company. So even if something happens today, or even if I sell one or anything, so company needs to start running, to continue without me. So at the beginning, you are your company, and it's really hard to separate those two things, because everyone associates you with the things that you do and the product that you are placing on the market. But when it starts growing, you just have to go like one step at a time in the back, and just give your people a chance to prove themselves and to bring results.
How were you doing that before artificial intelligence?
I am artificial intelligence.
Wow. Dragan, same thing.
Well, as Anna mentioned, at some point, it's like one-man show.
Yeah, or woman.
One woman, yeah, exactly. And so as the project starts to be bigger, basically that micromanagement part really needs to be focused. You really need to, I don't know, but whenever you can to optimize your work, it's really needs to be done. And it's not like only challenges. Challenges are everywhere. I don't know. There are like projects. You are trying to implement something. It's innovational, and basically you are trying to explain your colleagues how it could be faster, better ways, and so it's challenging all the way.
Yeah, and you have to motivate yourself and your employees to work. So every day you say, it's going to be a great day today, even if you know that somewhere at this point you're going to find some huge obstacle, but it was also one of the challenges, I just remember.
But it also changes with the growth. So it's not the same when you're complete beginner starting something, and then as you grow, these challenges change. Erna, in your work, and it was mentioned at the beginning, you are often, and you're still involved in promoting women entrepreneurship, and you're actually helping, I would say, a lot of young people or young ladies to start and succeed in the business. What would you say about the role of women in this early business? Are they in disadvantage, and are they facing maybe more challenges than men? And in your opinion, how can that be resolved if it is the case?
Well, I have to be honest, I never felt any kind of discrimination during my, even though I was in advantage in a lot of things when I was in some kind of programs or in some kind of, running for the investment race. But yes, because women are not really involving themselves in these processes, because you think there's a lot of traditional elements in there that you have to start a family, because that's what actually girls are asking me. Do you advise us to get married, start a family, and then run a startup, or first run a startup and then run a family? But I think no one will marry me because I'm a strong, independent woman and stuff like that. So I understand that, I get it. It's a really hard thing, especially here. Anywhere else, it's a normal thing. It's a plus if you have your own company and you are independent, that you have your own money. But here it's a little bit different. But it's something that we have to change. I mean, we are in the 21st century for a long time now, and a lot of things are changing. So I think that with our own examples, we are just showing that it's possible to have both. It's not one is not excluding another. So what I'm actually fighting for is to not to have woman entrepreneurship as a term, because it's one entrepreneurship. What is woman entrepreneurship? For me, it's like if woman is making some kind of jam or knitting socks. So it's how it began. And now we are like special category now in the world. Like we are something different. We need special approach. It's not true. We don't. So we are capable as any other man and boys. I'm sorry, but future is female for sure.
Okay. As we said maybe at the beginning, we can sometimes call entrepreneurs as mythical human beings. So beings that have to balance maybe more than others between business and life. And you touched upon that now with your answer. But in general, how possible it is for young entrepreneur, especially, early entrepreneur, to balance the private and I would say business life. Is there anything that they can take from you as a suggestion on how to approach that? Because probably the business side, you're trying, you're investing yourself, is taking more time, which I would say in the long term is not so productive or positive. So what would you two actually suggest to our young future entrepreneurs in that regard, in terms of this balance?
Well, as I mentioned in the start, you really need to love. You really need to try to find yourself, and that extra energy is something that brings you quality of private life. So it's not like when you are at home, you are, I don't know, on laptop or something. When you are at home, I don't know, be yourself, be with your family, spend some quality time. And I believe that that's one of major messages. Quality time with family is something that could give you an extra time on jobs, on projects, on entrepreneurship.
Radical passion?
The truth is that you really don't have nothing to lose. That's what people think. I will lose time, I will lose energy, you will learn a lot, you will gain contacts, you will have a knowledge that you can put out anywhere in other company that you will work for, or you will build the next one. It's really, it doesn't matter. But I think that this path is really self-rewarding because you see how much you've grown. So for me, every position that I got in UN Women, in Foundation 787, or Sogal Foundation in New York, it was just based on my knowledge, not my education or my diploma or anything, but my entrepreneurial path and the things that I learn and the things that I actually invest in myself, the time. And I never thought at one point that I'm losing something. I just got a lot, and I will do all over again.
Wow. We see that there are some programs, including this one, that supports entrepreneurship. In your opinion, do you feel that the young entrepreneurs are sufficiently supported? And where would you maybe direct the young people now to actually seek for this support and maybe guidance and assistance? We said, outside of money, that this golden opportunity is actually the perks around it. And is it only sufficient if we look at such opportunities in the country, or it's much, much better to look beyond the borders of our own country?
Well, you have to start somewhere. So maybe at the beginning it's easier to start here. There's a lot of programs and a lot of I don't know how to call them, organizations who actually are offering all those things. Yesterday there was Adela from Mosaic Foundation. There's a Foundation 787. There is EUSAIR, Banja Luka. There's Intera in Mostar. Technology Park. There's also Borch University. They have their own hub. So you have those organizations that if you go to them and you just present them your idea and say, okay, I don't know what to do. You don't have to know anything, but you just have to have something inside your head that you want to build or you want to try to build. They will for sure provide you the resources you have and the people who can help you with it. Even if you fail, like I said, you will go through some processes and you know what to do next time. So yes, there's a lot of people here doing something about it, but when you see the call online, like people who want to or startups who want to apply, you get like 10 applications. So you see the ratio about the offer and demand. So you have the offer, but you need to apply and you need to try.
I hope you, at least the young people from Bosnia, kept notes, where to actually seek for the help. But maybe, Dragan, maybe you can say a bit other opportunities. Okay, when we talk about support to entrepreneurs, we obviously think about the financial side and also these perks that we mentioned, but there are in general many trainings, events, gatherings and so on. How important or relevant it might be for young person to actually go and listen. As we said, at the beginning, Erna is taking part in, pretty much everything that's business related. She's always there, trying to be at the center of the things that are happening. What can you suggest to young people, entrepreneurs, or maybe to what to pay attention more in terms of, because now there's a lot of events, so you need to filter out certain that you put as on a priority list. What can you suggest in that regard?
Well, as Anna mentioned, you really need to go out. You really need to break that comfort zone. You are in it, and basically to try to find out by yourself what could be interesting for you, what doors I need to knock on. So that's one step. Is like at the beginning, there is no like fails. Each part of that journey is something that you will gain some experience, and do not do not set yourself like high goals at the beginning. I need to go to that event and I will learn that. So no, it's not like that. At some point of time, everything is really important. Each event, each contact, each networking.
Networking,
yeah. We will usually meet people that could really help you with business at the places that you at least think that you will find on a concert, for example, or you just have to talk, because when people ask you what you do, I'm a student. No, you're not. You're building your startup. So that's how you start with it. And then you got your attention. So now in Slovenia at Podium Conference, I had 2 sick kids at work, at home. But I already booked that I had to go to Slovenia to see it. It's a Podium Conference. It's the best conference in the region that you can go to, that it's startup related. And you can meet the investors, the genius speakers from all around the world. We listened to the lectures about space entrepreneurship. That's the new thing now, about AI and JetGTP. So I was like shaking at the end of the night, because I was all over them. And at night at the party, I met a guy who can actually connect me with some people in Croatia, in Slovenia, regarding my regional expansion. So it was like, I really didn't, I just went there to relax. And in the end, I ended up with a business meeting that's 3 hours long. We had to go inside because the music was too loud. But I really didn't miss my chance to go and to just explore the opportunities.
If I can summarize that part, is go out and talk.
Have fun.
And have fun along the way.
Be open-minded.
But in terms of this, I would say, community of entrepreneurs, how would you assess, how open are entrepreneurs to help each other? I mean, can a young entrepreneur maybe expect that some senior entrepreneur would be willing to help him or guide him in it?
It's so easy. So you go on LinkedIn, make your own profile, and go explore your industry. And you find few people from your industry in Bosnia, you just send them a message, hi, I'm Leila, I just want to build, I'm having this startup idea, and I would appreciate your advice about this and that. And believe me, tomorrow you will have a coffee with this guy or woman, and they will help you. So it's something that LinkedIn is really unexplored here, and it's not used enough. But people are really approachable if you just go with the right cause, and not just like, I'm following you and that's it. So what's that? What's mean you're following me? What, like you said, you're a stalker or what? So if you have a question, just send it. Maybe I will not be able to see you or to meet you in person, but I will answer you for sure, or give you some contact to other people. So that's how I actually work in this business area. So make your LinkedIn profiles. You
heard the lady.
One of the best. Yeah, but just exactly. To not have that some kind of fear to knock on the doors. Yeah, it's just simple as that.
Yeah, already start acting professionally, you know, as Erna mentioned, a few examples with the business card, with an attitude, with the presentation and so on. Give the impression that you are already on your way, maybe at the start, but you're on your way to get there. Can you maybe list some very specific moment or experience that taught you some valuable lesson of entrepreneurship? Is there anything that you can single out, you know, at that time I realized this is it, this is, I would say, this is how I will make my business, or I was doing this wrong, I heard someone and then I changed my perspective. Anything, you know, that can be said, you know, as a valuable thing that helped you become what you are now.
Yeah, it was actually the first time when I pitched my idea. No, not the first one, the second one, in front of the ABC accelerator from Slovenia. They came to Sarajevo and they said, we'll have a demo day, like, please come and present. And I went there, I had my presentation ready, of course, and then I started presenting, and I saw them like watching me, watching each other. What was this like? And then they didn't have any kind of question for me. It was, you should worry if investor doesn't have a question for you. And then when I went on the stage, then the event finished, and then those guys approached me and said, like, can you please explain us with your own words what you're trying to do with this project? And then I explained them, and they said, please use your own words. So what I did, I actually tried to use those fancy entrepreneurial stuff and tech stuff, and to explain something that it's really so easy to explain with it in 2 sentences. So actually, what I learned is that keep it simple. So just try to be yourself in every moment of your entrepreneurial journey, and not complicate too much. When you start complicated, people are not interesting, because now, you know, we cannot keep attention longer than 7 seconds. So in first 7 seconds, when 6 seconds, okay, sorry, I'm outdated a little bit. So like in 6 seconds, when you start talking, or they're gonna continue listening you, or you're done with them. So you have to learn how to express yourself about your idea, and just don't use fancy words.
You said what?
Good one.
Yeah. Again, what about you? Did you have any kind of life-changing lessons on your entrepreneurial path?
For example, we have created a presentation and offer for investors. And since everything was like in number of 7, so we had like a great six ideas, and we will try to figure out what should we put as a 7. So we just put something, okay, we know that it isn't worth it, but let's leave it on that. And we were like really surprised when that investor picked that 7.
Yeah, so don't put something there just to be there, you know, think about it.
Exactly. So everything counts, and after that, that really important part is like that feedback. Why is that important to you?
Okay, we are now closing, I would say coming to a close of this session. And what I would like to ask you is that you imagine that you're sitting over there in your beginnings of your career, and try to tell to yourself, in the, I would say, form of these young people, something that you wanted to hear when you were starting the business. So what would you suggest to your younger or starter self from this perspective now, and all the knowledge and experiences that you have accumulated along your way, but in a very simple, regular terms, not keywords.
6 seconds.
So yeah, I would ask, in what industries investors are investing now? So that's something that people are not
focus on that.
On what industries exactly? Because every year you have some trends that are following that money, and if you are building something from, I don't know, for now in I don't know, eco-friendly or sustainable energy, that's or AI, of course. So that's something that you will get money for sure. But you, like I said, if you are building beauty app, don't expect anything. You will just build it for yourself and spend money, and you will not make one. So I think that will be valuable information for me at the beginning of my journey, to know who is investing in B2B, Obviously no one, but I will maybe find someone somewhere, who knows.
Well, as I mentioned...
Don't look at me, look at yourself.
6 seconds, 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3. Well, as I mentioned before, it's really important to find those small markets. And when you find those small markets, when you find those problems and those solutions, you need to stay open-minded. You need to have that fast-fail approach. So isn't it like you think it is? Basically, you need to listen to those feedbacks. You need to be flexible. And I don't know, after that, there's a lot of steps, but keep positive, keep energy. And
yeah, but also, do I need to quit when I need to quit? But I think that when it's the hardest, you need to, do more work. Then you have to go forward, because that was my experience when I was like in the front of like, we were gonna close everything because sales is dropping and we are not making enough money to do our everyday obligations towards the taxes and stuff. I just decided, no, I didn't come too far just to come too far. So let's do something different, let's pivot, let's change. So that's also the experience from these programs and mentors that I always have. I have 3 mentors that I can just type on WhatsApp, I have a problem, can you help? So just type, I will answer you tomorrow. So you have to have those people that you don't have to ask, how are you? Did you get tired today? Just, I need help. So they will just give you some advices that you can just turn around. So don't quit too easily. Yes, if nothing is happening, but if you have 1 or 2 sales, you're selling something, so that counts. So just try to make your product worth buying.
Very interesting, thank you. We will give you a few minutes for questions, but before we give you a few minutes, Dragana told me we will get 15 minutes as a compensation thing. Before we get to the questions, I would like to kind of close this part with an anecdote and a small exercise. So the anecdote is, I assume that most of you saw the movie The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Is there anyone who hasn't seen that movie? My God, you're young. But in that movie, at some later stages, there's a quote by Clint Eastwood, where he says, there's 2 types of people in this world, those who dig and those with the gun. And I'm the guy with the gun. If I try to, I would say, conceptualize his words in this room, in this room there are 2 types of people. Those sitting and listen, and those making the effort. And I would like to ask you now to clap for the option that you would like to see yourself in the future. So, would you like to remain on this side and listen to others? Or you would like to go on this side and make a difference? I sure hope I will be a moderator in the future, in some future event where I will have some of you here and to get the chance to kind of help you tell your story. Thank you. Janila, can I ask you to maybe kind of moderate this question session? Sure. And then you can close slowly the
Sure. Okay. Right. Just to clarify, the famous 6 seconds actually refers to the digital marketing attention span, not to the panel discussions attention span. Lovely. Thank you so much, Slavisha. Thank you, Erna. Thank you, Dragan. Perhaps the next few minutes we can open up for questions for our panelists. Anyone? Yes.
Hello, greetings, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to thank you for your very inspiring speech. And I want to tell you that you both have all of my respect. And I would like to ask you, did you lose hope at any part of the journey? And how did you manage to keep on with the hope? And what did inspire you to continue?
Could you just let us know your name and where
Oh, sorry. My name is Nisrin Durmishevich. I came with my high school, first gymnasium. I live here in Sarajevo. And yeah, I'm really thankful that I'm here at this event because I feel like it's a really great opportunity and I have learned a lot from you. So yeah, I'm just really happy and I'm so thankful that I got here. Thank you.
Lovely. Who would like to answer this question?
Yeah. Well, every day, every minute, you are keeping to asking to yourself, saying that question. But at the end of the day, you are just creating those lines, as Anne mentioned. Does it worth it? What can be changed? So that type of extra energy, extra effort is something that pushing you on forward.
So regarding me, when we launched the first version of Facebook, like 3 months, like 7 days, no one signed. And I was just like waiting for, in front of just waiting for, you know, the numbers to click because we had a campaign and stuff like that, but it wasn't the good one. So I was really discouraged at that point, and I really thought that, you know, I just, you know, how I'm gonna explain to people, because that's our biggest problem, not because you're gonna fail, how you're gonna explain to everyone that you failed. So I just talk to people, like, why are people not signing in? So let's do something different. And then like 3 months later, we have 200 users on the trial period. So yeah, those periods are normal. You have to have, you know, ups and downs. But you just, if you know what you want to do out there, there's no obstacle who can just, you know, put you down that much that you will quit. Thank you.
Next question. Anyone? I saw a hand somewhere, I believe. No? Yes? Are there any brave boys? Another girl? Yes.
Thank you. My name is Anna. We come from Albania. So I would like to ask a question because I really need some advice for myself. What do you do when you feel dried out? When you feel tired and you feel like, well, I'm gonna get some sleep and not do this today, not do this tomorrow. What do you do?
You just don't do it. You cannot force yourself to do something if you are not capable to do it. So you just take a vacation, or, you know, just close the laptop, just turn off the notification. Nothing will happen in those 7 days, trust me. I was like a freak to take my laptop on the beach and just checking out every time if some mail just came, but everything can wait. So your health is more important than your business. And if your business is strong enough, and if you know what you're doing, it will survive your 7-day vacation. So get some rest and then just start over. Reboot yourself.
Thank you so much. And I have another question. Has your life as a mom prevented you or made it difficult for you at some point to go on with your business?
No, really, because you know, I'm not a single parent. Maybe that's the good thing in this whole situation. But I know a lot of single moms who have their businesses and they're really successful. So yeah, I have a husband who is actually my partner in life. So we do everything. We share, you know, the obligations of our kids. I have kids like 13 and 8, so they're already big and they go to school and they can do a lot of things on their own. But it's all about organization. You can be a mom and you can be a successful entrepreneur and you can be a speaker and anything you want. You just have to have your life well organized and you have to know what you want and you have to find the right partner as well.
Thank you so much for your answers.
Any more questions? Anyone? Yes.
Okay, so thank you for this opportunity. My name is Neretva. I came from First Gymnasia, and I really think about entrepreneurship, and I'm so interested in that. So, but I would like to ask you if you like, what advice would you give to your younger self who wants something big but has no clue where to start? And how to do it? Can you self-teach yourself through books and these online videos? What would you say?
Well, there is not an ideal combination of, I don't know, 50% of that and 20% of that. It's always a quest for knowledge. So you will try it to, I don't know, Udemy, you will try it with free online, you will try it to books. So it's like a puzzle. You always seeking for another element, and basically you are just building it.
But also get a job. So find out how it is to work inside of some kind of company. So a lot of people are, you get the knowledge from that. I'm employing only young people, so people from universities or people who want to have some kind of practice. So they will learn just working with us about processes, about how to approach client, how to sell product, how to advertise it. So you need really working experience, at least year or two before you decide it. Don't quit about your entrepreneurship dream. You need to go through that path, but first learn how to, basic stuff, and then of course you have to learn of course about some theory things, but practice is really what it counts when it comes to to action.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Just can add, but basically, you have like young entrepreneurship. You have like your own fears.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because I think we can't hear you well.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's either a mic or your tone.
It's like moving. So you have your own fears, but basically, believe me, I mean, when you are setting yourself as an employee, you have your own fears. But we, as entrepreneur, we have like really willingness to find young guys, to teach them
To take over our companies one day.
Exactly. So just goodwill and it will come.
Okay. Lovely, lovely. Great questions. Any more questions? Use the chance. Yes, please.
Yeah, it does.
The trick is to keep the mic close to your mouth.
Yeah. I'm Ilhan from 1st Gymnasium in Sarajevo, and you talked about asking questions. Use the person that knows something in that 1 hour, ask them questions. And now I'm wondering, and right now we have an opportunity to ask you questions, and I'm like thinking, all right, well, what do I ask? Do you have any tips for asking the right questions?
There are no right questions or wrong questions. So my mentors have told me, like, you can ask me how I spend my nights or what books I'm reading. So it's more about how deep you want to go inside of someone's life or someone's entrepreneurial path or someone's company. Personal questions are allowed as well, as long as they are appropriate. But when you can ask me what kind of books I'm reading, or where am I finding inspiration, or what I'm doing with my employees, how I'm teaching them, why I'm hiring only young people. So before you meet someone, if you had a chance, you can explore it a little bit. So there's LinkedIn, there's social media, there's some articles, and you can find something that's interesting for you that you can use for yourself. So that's the main goal about question, that you gain something and you get some information that can help you. So it's basic, like what car are you driving? Do you like Porsche, or I don't know, maybe Skoda? Never mind. So it's okay, because it's like, you're starting conversation, and then after 1 or 2 questions, you will get the right one. But don't hesitate to ask anything.
Also, I have another question. You talked about motivation, and I have a question: what is more important, motivation or discipline?
Well, there's not like ideal combination. You need to have both of them at some point of time. There's like a motivation, and after that part of self-organized is something that's really important, and you are learning it from day to day. For myself, for example, I can say that I'm more organized than yesterday, or I don't know, than a year before. So it's like learning path. But if I just can add regarding that previous time, previous question, it's like focus on the questions. Should be on your idea, should be on your project. So those questions can even you can ask yourself, what can be changed about that project to have, I don't know, some steps ahead. So it's like a combination project focuses and...
Yeah, about discipline. Discipline is great, especially if you want to build something quick and just pushing, and then you will make it. But motivation, you need motivation for a long term, for the big project or for building a company. So you can combine those two, but if you have a good motivation, you will be disciplined. But you know, if you don't have motivation, what's discipline without motivation? So you know, you have to just have both a little bit, but you will build one for sure.
Thank you.
I think we need to start to wrapping it up closely to have a short break before the award ceremony. Perhaps one more question? Anyone?
It's worth noting that the entrepreneurs will be here after the event, so you can also engage with them and you know, talk directly and personally.
Just please make a line, like we will stay and then we will just go.
Yes, please.
Hello, I'm Daniela and I'm coming from Primorska Technology Park. I'm taking care of the national competition Popri in Slovenia. Would you be so kind, as I heard that you were a teacher, can you give some inspirational words to the teachers that are here? I think that they are really hardworking. And there are a lot of them in Slovenia that are not entrepreneurs by profession. And please, just give them a piece of advice of yours.
Okay. Well, if I can explain through example, I had worked for 12 years in high school. So most of those classes are like morning classes until 1 p.m. So we are working together, my colleagues and I. We are like having split classes. And when we finished that, at that point of time, I had a project on Jahorina. It's Hotel Vučko. So it was like, ouch! You are now having like great time. You are going to Jahorina, and I'm going to home. So idea was like, yes, but it's really need to have some that additional energy, some motivation. If you want, please come with me and we will try to figure out some new ideas, some new project that you can be involved. So regarding, I don't know, all of my colleagues, it's like idea that it's really great to have, I don't know, that approach, that there is a problem, I could solve it, I need to believe it myself, and also idea from that problem and those approaches could be some like extra value to our kids to explain them, so it's motivation.
Thank you, yes. Thank you to all the teachers. Thank you to all the students, all the participants. Especially a great big thank you to the panelists and Slavisha, an excellent, excellent moderator. Let me please thank also the main organizers of this year's events, Primorski Technology Park and Innovation Center Banja Luka. And of course, let me thank others without whom this event would not have been possible. EUSAIR Popri is powered by the European Commission, EUSAIR Presidency of Bosnia and Herzegovina, Slovenian Ministry of Foreign and European Affairs, and Ministry of Cohesion Policy and Regional Development Facility Point Project. All events are organized together with Auleda, Vior Albania, Zicer Croatia, Business Incubator Novi Sad, Serbia Step C, Greece, Center for Knowledge Management of Republic of North Macedonia, Studentski Business Center Montenegro, and Innovation Institute San Marino. We will have a short break, 10-minute break, if that's all right with you, and then we will have the award ceremony. Thank you all. See you back in the room in 10 minutes. Thank you for coming back. We are to continue with our program. Before we start with the rest of today's event, I'm asked by the Directorate for European Integration and organizers of the forum to offer you to join the bus that will be here at 3 o'clock, 1500, to take you to Trebević Cable, Žičara. There will be barbecue in Trebević. This also includes the high school students from Sarajevo. So unless you are traveling back to your home countries, please join the bus 3 o'clock in front of the hotel to Trebević for the barbecue party. And now we continue with our program. Before we start with the award ceremony, please allow me to invite Mr. Slavomir Tokarski to say hello or goodbye. before the award ceremony. Mr. Tokarski is Director for the European Territorial Cooperation, Macro Regions, Interreg and Programs Implementation 1, Director General for Regional and Urban Policy, European Commission. The floor is yours.
Yes. Hello, everybody. Well, I will just be very short. First, let me tell you that I think POPRI is a great thing. I talked yesterday with ministers and so on about how it is important to involve youth in the strategy. And we are talking about listening and consulting and talking, but this is something concrete, which I think that's a real way of involving young people in the strategy, something that, as we can see from the participation, we had this year 275 teams, that is really ringing the bell with you. So I think we should be ambitious. We should aim even for more teams participating, maybe 500 next year. And the idea came from our Slovenian friends. We got associated a bit later, so big compliments to Slovenian colleagues. So let's aim for more people, more teams, more POPRI in the years to come. Now, I was also asked to say something inspirational, and I think you got quite a lot of inspiration from the panel before. And I will not talk about the business because I'm not a businessman. And when people, like me are talking to young people, there's always a risk that you sound paternalistic, like a fat cat, giving good a piece of advice. Or on the other hand, there is the other extreme that, we just charge responsibility on you, saying that you young people, you are fantastic and you will solve all this work that we screwed so badly. So I will be maybe less ambitious in this inspirational thought. I will give you one from the business which does not come from me. It comes from Georgi Soros, who is this Hungarian multi-billionaire who paid for my scholarship, where I was the first generation of student that could study abroad. And after many years, I met him. It was just in the middle of the financial crisis of 2010, 2008 maybe. And he, as usually, went out of this crisis in a fantastic way, changing assets and earning a lot of money. So I asked him, Mr. Soros, how did you do that? And he told me, I spoke to intelligent people. So I think it's a very good business advice, and think about it when you are in situations like that one. Now, 3 more personal lines of thought are the ones that I tested with my sons. And my sons are right now entering labor market, and one of them precisely now is having an interview for a startup that is dealing with social innovation. So I'm a bit nervous about it. But the 3 lines of thought are the following. One is, do what you like. Don't do what you don't like. In my professional career, I saw quite many people who were doing something that they did not like, and it's really deeply frustrating experience. Think about working 8 hours a day, 30 years or more, on something that you don't like. So ideally, you have a passion, but passion is a sort of gift. Not everybody has it, but at least you should like what you do. Secondly, I think about business that is a part of the society. Somebody said, I don't remember who, but that the business of business is doing business. I don't think it is true anymore. I think we should think also about the society. And it's not that you should not earn good money, but it's about really keeping in mind that what you do is relevant for people around you, for your community, for your neighborhood, for your society. And it's also a very rewarding experience. I talk on many occasions with people who did something like this, and they were always telling me it's very transformative, because all of a sudden I believed in myself, and I could do something, for a better society. It sounds a little bit pathetic, but that's in the end. I had this kind of conversation with kids in Greece who were engaged in the project, convincing their parents to recycle. And all of a sudden they discovered they have a big convincing power, and the parents do what they are told to. So, this is really a nice experience, and makes you feel better and makes you feel useful. And then the third one is do act. I think that we are all exposed to this frustration and anxiety because of the war, because of climate change, And this sometimes leads to a type of fatalism. Is there anything I could do myself? I mean, my little action, do they really count? And I think it's very dangerous. Firstly, because I deeply believe that what we do makes sense and can change the things in the future. And second, because we have to do our part. So I will end up with a little story that comes from Pierre Rabhi, who was I think he died recently, but he was a sort of guy talking here about nature, agriculture, and society, regenerative agriculture and society, and he's telling the story about the big forest fire when the fire brigades came in, and there's also a little bird, kingfisher, which is called Vodomar, right? And he's transporting water in his beak and throwing it on the flames. So the other animals looking at him and they asking him, what are you doing? I mean, that doesn't change anything. And he answers, I do my part. So I wish you that you do your part, and I believe that with this competition, you made a big step in this direction. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Tokarski. If the European Commission representative says that Popri is great, yes, Popri rocks. And we wish all the best of luck to your son in his interview. We move on. Now, please allow me to invite Drago Gveric, the ICBL director, to also share a few closing remarks with you.
Thank you, Jamila. Hi once more, just a few words from me. I work for over 10 years in business development, project management, but in baseline, and very baseline, there are always three questions, whatever you are doing. And I think also even we with the Popri answer on those questions. The first one is why we are doing this. Why we are doing this today, these 2 days and weeks behind us. Because we want to see, act and behave like a region, not like the individual set of the countries, group and cultures. So that's the reason. And I think that we hit the first question. The second question, when I asking myself, or you are doing business, is you are working for whom? To whom you are doing? So it's not for you, even though you are sitting here. It's for the generation who will come. Why? Because we have created jointly the path where we are going and send the positive message. And then the third question, in business or also here, how we will do it. But we have show how we can do it and how can be so successful. And the answer of the Popri and yours is the same. We have done it through the networking of the people, and we have shown the uniqueness of the region through the culture and through the economy. So that's the baseline, what we are speaking with the European Union for a decade, what they are speaking with us and we are listening or not, but that's the baseline. I'm so proud and satisfied, so proud to be part of this competition and to be able with my team to support something like this, and so, how to say, honored to be with you, the generation that will come, that will firmly hold the strategy and values of European Union where we are going in the future. Thank you once more and congratulations to all. Jamila.
Thank you, Drago. And let me also invite Ms. Tanja Kožuh, CEO of Primorski Tehnološki Park Slovenia, to say a few words.
Hi to everybody. I'm very pleased to see you in such a large number today. Do you agree? It was long and hard journey, and I think that we all did a great work. So while you, young people, were developing your ideas and business plans, we, on the other side, the organizers and the partners, were trying to put together all the activities to meet today and these days in Sarajevo. So us in the entrepreneurship, also this journey was full of uncertain, full of twists, turns and surprises. But important thing is that we reached the destination. This year, almost 300 business ideas were developed through Popri internationally, and only the best are sitting here today in this room. So congratulations. Yes, you deserve this applause. So before we reveal the results, I will take a while to tell you why EUSAIR Popri Youth is so successful story. We do not have time to list all the reasons, but I will tell you only some of them. So the first one is the feedback we received from you, from the participants of the previous years of the competition. One of the participants of previous years said, "It was one of the greatest experience that I will never forget." I hope it was amazing also for you. So I would be so grateful if you send us your feedback, your thoughts about how did you feel this experience, and also what do you think we should improve for the next years. So the second reason why Popri is so famous now is because young people are inspiring us with your ideas, with your enthusiasm and innovative solutions. And the third reason why Popri is so successful is that after only 3 years of international competition, we do have some visible results that we are really grateful for them. Some of the participants of previous years have already established their companies. We met yesterday Alexander from Bosnia and Herzegovina, who ran eClinica. I know for Nicola from Serbia, who opened EcoHive company. And last year we listened to students Emma and Naya from Slovenia, who are now running the Passionis company, and they are still students. So such stories are even more, not only these three. And I'd like to say that yesterday you have presented really great ideas and potentially successful business plans. So I hope that you will find the strength and the courage to open your own business. But before, I would like to let you know something very important, something that is very valuable. When you will open your business and start to build your team, please never forget this. People are your most valuable asset. I always try to thank my team and partners with whom we work. Thank you is a magical word that makes miracles. Remember this. That's why now it's time to let you know how proud I am of my team and of all the EUSAIR Popri youth partners. Thank you very much for doing this great job. With all this group of people, there are two special persons that I will like to invite on the stage. Because these two were working really hard this year. One of them is my colleague, Bojana Cipot. So please join me on the stage. You know, I met Bojana a few years ago, and we were talking about Popri. I revealed her my vision. I wanted to make Popri from Slovene national competition to international. I wanted this because I wanted to spread the powerful energy of young entrepreneurial-minded people through European countries. She had accepted this challenge. You know, I thought that we will do it within few years, but she did it in less than a year. And I'm very proud of this, so please give her a big applause once again. Thank you, Bojana. Please wait a moment, Bojana, please wait a moment beside me. Because, yes, I know, we have to do something together. We have to thank to another person who was working with you during last months very intensively. And this is Dragana Bajovic. I kindly ask her to come. She's from the partner, the Innovation Center, Banja Luka. Thank you, Dragana. Your work was excellent, and without you, we wouldn't be here and having so much applause. So now, I have a gift for both of you. Yes, Bojana doesn't know. So in Slovenia, Bojana chose a gift for Dragana. It's a gift from Slovene designer Oskar Kogoj, who is globally known. And these days, here in Sarajevo, my team, together with me, chose a gift from Bosnia and Herzegovina treasure, thanks to our colleagues who are living here in Sarajevo. So my colleague Katja will bring these two gifts for them. So, Dragana, thank you. And Bojana, thank you very much. Thank you. Okay. So, being grateful to have such a best team ever, it's very important. So thank you very much for being with us this year. I'm wishing you all the best and hope to see you next year in Croatia. Thank you.
To use the magic words, thank you, Tanya, thank you, Bojana, thank you, Dragana, and of course, a big thanks to all the partners, organizations, and mentors. Before we invite all of the representatives, I will kindly ask the technician to just play the short video of all the EUSAIR partners. Lovely. So, could I please invite representatives of all the partner organizations and mentors who supported the process over the last months to join us here on the stage. Albania, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Croatia, Greece, Montenegro, Republic of North Macedonia, San Marino, Serbia, and Slovenia. As a token of appreciation, a thank you from the organizers and a group photo. Bravo, thank you. Without these partners and mentors, the POPRI International would have not been possible. And now back to the stars of this whole event, the people that we are all here for, the participants. Again, just a short video for all of us to see all the participants of the 3rd POPRI International Competition. So this has served as an intro to the next part, the awards for the high school teams. The best 3 business ideas in the category of high school students. The prizes will be given by Drago and Tanya. The 3rd place goes to Citrus Peel Flower, Republic of North Macedonia. Congratulations. I'm sorry. Small mistake, but Popri rocks, please. Yes. The 3rd award is the offer for the team who will receive an individual program to test the market and product potential with successful startup entrepreneur. Congratulations, North Macedonia. The 2nd place in the category of university students teams goes to Rabbit Sausages and Roast, Slovenia. Congratulations. This team will visit the 2025 European Capital of Culture Nova Gorica, Gorizia in the fall of 2023. Congratulations. Thank you. And the winner of the best 3rd EUSAIR POPRI International business idea is Vejo, Serbia. Bravo. Thank you. Congratulations once to all the teams and winners. And now we will actually see the video of the people who have just received the award. So could we see the short video, please?
And we found a way to ferment this pulp and make it into a delicious almond-based beverage. Vejo represents both significant technological and environmental improvement, and it is contributing largely to circular economy. We believe it has great potential for long-term success.
Lovely.
Hello, we are Team Volker and we are developing a business idea which is rabbit sausages, roasts and different products from rabbit meat which have better benefits than other types of meat. Our team consists of 4 members, me, Tilan Volker,
Neretva Dutlin, Gašper Pročina and Jernej Gašnik.
Hello, my name is Rabia.
Hello, my name is Monica.
We are food engineers from North Macedonia.
Our group name is Citrus Peel Flower. As a part of circular economy, we get a completely new product from a byproduct from the food we use.
At the same time, we produce a healthier version of flour, which presents a food supplement rich with vitamin C and is totally gluten-free.
And now a collage of the teams, university teams. And now, the best of the best. The high school teams, apologies for the mix-up with the videos. Let me please present to you the best 3 business ideas in the category of high school teams. The prizes will be yet again given by Drago and Tanya. The 3rd place goes to Milajo, Albania. Congratulations. The team will receive an individual program to test the market and product potential with successful startup entrepreneur. Congratulations once again. The 2nd place goes to Hit Hot App Slovenia. Hit Hot App. We told you yesterday you will become a hot hit soon. Hit Hop App Slovenia will visit the 2025 European Capital of Culture, Nova Gorica Gorizia, in the fall of 2023. Excellent. And the winner of the best 3rd EUSAIR Popri business idea is Limenko, Serbia. Limenko, Serbia is invited to Popri Startup Challenge in October to Primorski Tehnološki Park. Wow, big round of applause for Professor. Congratulations to all the participants, all the teams. You have all done an amazing, absolutely an amazing job. Thank you for your efforts, for wonderful pitches. Thank you to all the teachers, mentors, and coordinators. And now we are approaching the very end of our competition and the 2-day event. Before we leave, I would like to ask Sanjin Vlastelica, our last speaker, to please share the last few words.
Well, thank you so much for the invitation and for having me here. It is a real pleasure for me to be here and enjoy this celebration and uplifting atmosphere. Really, I know that Popri competition has been around for 20 years, if I'm not mistaken, and it's quite a tradition now by any measure. And we are grateful to our Slovenian friends from the strategy who have introduced this wonderful gathering of young, bright, creative minds to our annual forums. I believe it started a couple of years ago in Isola. And I think that it is a proper time because it seems that momentum is building in the past few years, which aims towards greater involvement of youth and greater recognition of youth from the side of institutions and platforms such as EUSAIR. I think that the forum in Sarajevo testifies of the growing importance of youth. If one looks at the number of panels which have been devoted to youth topics and the audience of the forum, it is clear that we are growing younger and younger, which for us that are not so young maybe anymore, it's always simply we love to see this. You will know that Croatia is taking over the presidency from June, and we will continue with all the work done by the previous presidencies with regard to youth, and it will culminate in our own annual forum next May in 2024. And I hope that many of you will be there, and I would like to invite you, all of you, to come, and we will certainly devote space and time for panels devoted to youth, especially, of course, the Popri celebration, the award ceremony, the competition. And also we have one special event I'd like to announce devoted only to youth. It's a special conference, youth conference we are planning for November in Split. So you're also invited to this. I'm sure that details will reach you through various channels, but please keep in mind, November, Split, we will do something perhaps together even for this occasion. So once again, thank you very much for having me. It's been really an honor to participate. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vlastelica. So we plan to close this wonderful event with Mr. Vlastelica, who is the head of division for European Macro Regions, Ministry of Foreign and European Affairs of the Republic of Croatia, as the host of next year's competition. Once again, thank you all. Thank you, the jury. Thank you, the participants. Thank you, all the teachers, organizers, partners. Thank you all for sharing and making these 2 days a memorable, wonderful experience. Thank you, Sarajevo. See you in Croatia.